How you turn the tables isn't one move, it's a complete transformation. Not replying to messages isn't a game. It's because you're busy living your own life. You stop caring about her Instagram stories because you're busy writing your own story. You stop posting sad statuses because you're too busy building the things that truly make you happy. The mindset of a man who has turned the tables. 1. He doesn't ask, "What does she think of me?" He asks, "What do I think of myself?" 2. He doesn't seek validation from others. He creates value that makes others validate him. 3. He doesn't chase anyone. He walks firmly enough that others want to walk with him. And when you do this, you won't want to get revenge or break her ego anymore, because you realize the biggest win is when you no longer let anyone control your emotions. You take back control of your life. If you're going through the phase of being ignored, ghosted, or left behind, don't collapse. This is a wake-up call. A gentle slap from fate to get you back on track and rise above. Turn the tables, not to beat anyone else, but to never lose to yourself again. 2. Stimulate her curiosity, the silent yet powerful counterattack of a man of substance. When a woman starts ignoring you, you have 2 choices. 1. Panic, worry, and text her repeatedly to save the relationship. 2. Calmly withdraw, rebuild your self-worth, and let her come back on her own because of curiosity and regret. Most men choose the first option, driven by emotions, by the fear of losing something. But the wise, the experienced, the ones who understand women, always choose the second option. Why is curiosity so powerful? Women don't just leave you right away. They gradually withdraw their energy from the relationship. They're testing you, seeing how you'll react. If you panic, they know they have control over you. If you stay silent, mature, busy improving your life, they start feeling uneasy. Curiosity is what makes women come back. Not because you force them, but because they want to know who you are, what you're doing, and how you're living without them. Strategy 1. Cut off the energy supply. Learn how to turn the tables when a woman ignores you. There's something I once heard from an older mentor of mine, a man in his 60s, who got divorced at 45, lost everything at 50, and had a rebirth at 55. He said, when someone turns their back on you, don't chase after them. Turn inward and ask yourself, am I turning my back on myself? At the time, I didn't fully understand what he meant, but life, especially in love and relationships, has taught me more than any class could. Why is she ignoring you? It's not because you're inadequate. It's not because you lack value. It's because sometimes you've handed over your value too easily. You text her constantly. You reply in 5 seconds, even though she takes 5 hours to open your message and then stays silent. You cancel your plans just to spend 1 hour with her, and she still shows up late. Worse, you begin living based on her emotions. If she's happy today, you feel like life is full of hope. If she's distant tomorrow, the world seems to collapse. The problem isn't her. The problem is you've placed her in the center, the spot that should belong to you. The secret to turning the tables. It's not about being silent to make her curious. It's not about disappearing to make her jealous. It's not about trying to be cooler in hope she'll come back. Instead, it's about changing yourself from within so that no one can shake your foundation. Upgrading yourself to the point where others will wonder, how did I ever ignore this person? Becoming the man you can admire. A lesson from a man who lost everything. I once had a conversation with a guy in his late 50s. He had been divorced, lost custody of his kids, and had his business go bankrupt. He was the perfect example of someone who had fallen and had nothing left to lose. He said, "When a man loses the woman he loves, there are two paths. One is to drown in bitterness, blame, and self-destruction. The other is to look at yourself in the mirror and start over from zero. But this time, build for yourself, not for anyone else's approval." He didn't try to win her back. Instead, he hit the gym, learned how to invest, and spent time with his kids and himself. When his ex-wife came back looking for him, he was mature enough to smile and say, "Thank you for leaving. Because of that, I now know I deserve so much more." Strategy 1. Cut off the energy supply. Women absorb emotional energy, especially from the men who love them. Every time you text her, you're feeding her ego. Every time you like her photos, watch her stories, or react to her posts, you're saying, "I'm still here, you still have control over me." Stop all of it. No responses, no following her, no showing up. Disappear like you never existed, but live strong, vibrant, and unapologetically. Strategy 2. Invest in yourself, not for revenge, but to upgrade yourself. She won't be curious if your life is still the same. You need to make her wonder, is he really changing, or is he just pretending? Why does he look different lately? Is he seeing someone else? How to trigger her curiosity. Change your appearance. Get a new haircut, hit the gym, dress sharper. You don't have to be sexy, just look cleaner and more confident. Learn a new skill. Maybe it's learning English, playing an instrument, investing, photography, anything that makes you grow and become more independent. Curate your social media. Don't post to show off, but to show you're busy living your best life. A morning coffee, a weekend trip, an energizing photo. Let her see it, but don't overdo it. Don't post pictures with other girls just to tease her. That only shows you're still trying to get her attention. A truly attractive man doesn't need to prove anything. Strategy 3. Master your energy. Let your silence speak for you. A calm man is the most intimidating. Not because he's angry, but because he doesn't need to react. You don't need to block or unfriend her. Let her see you, but as the busy, quiet, and magnetic version of yourself. She might watch your story, but not like it. Drop a heart on an old picture. Text you randomly, "How have you been?" You don't need to reply right away. No rush. Don't act like you've been waiting for that message. Remember, curiosity dies if you respond too soon. Strategy 4. Create real value, not for her to see, but for you to feel worthy. When you're truly living well, she can feel it. Not through posts, but through the energy you radiate. And that energy only comes when you know what you want. Respect yourself. Don't depend on others' validation. Real-life example from a man over 30. He once loved a girl deeply. She left without a word of explanation. He was hurt, but didn't chase after her. 3 months later, he went on a solo trip, started a blog, learned meditation, and opened a small coffee shop. She came back, texted him, "I miss you. You're really living your best life." He replied, "Thanks. I'm just living true to myself." No anger, no revenge. But she would never forget the feeling of having lost a man like him. Key takeaways. Don't try to make her come back. Make her want to come back. A woman's curiosity doesn't come from your words. It comes from the energy you radiate when you're truly growing and maturing. And if you do it right, you won't just make her curious. She'll start asking herself, "How could I have ever left a man like him?" Share if you've been in this situation. Ignored, hurt, but then stood up, grew stronger, and made someone regret leaving you. Your story might be the inspiration other men need to find themselves again. 3. Smash her arrogant ego without saying a word. There are times in life when you'll encounter people with such inflated egos, to the point where they believe they have the right to control everything around them, including you. But the secret to breaking down that arrogant ego isn't through sharp words or powerful actions. Sometimes the most powerful counterattack is silence. And within that silence, you'll crush their ego without wasting a single word. The story of Mark. The strong, silent man, Mark, is a guy I deeply respect. He once fell head over heels for a girl. At that time, everything in his life revolved around her. He called her his muse. But what's interesting is she knew she had charm and always showed it off. She never texted first. She only replied when it was necessary. And she always kept a certain distance, as if she didn't want him to have her full attention. Mark wasn't angry. He didn't try to explain, didn't rush to make things work. He just remained silent. He stayed silent and took care of himself. And one day, when she had gotten too comfortable with his presence in her life, when her ego became too inflated, she suddenly realized that he wasn't there anymore. The arrogant ego. Why do women test you? Women, especially those with a big ego, often have a tendency to test the man they're with. This is a psychological reflex, a way for them to see if you're strong enough to handle the challenges life throws at you. But sometimes that test isn't because they don't love you. They want to know if you're capable of maintaining your own self-worth without letting them manipulate you. The arrogant ego I'm talking about is the kind that comes from thinking they can do whatever they want without facing any pushback. They believe your love or attention is something they're entitled to, that you can always find a way to please them. But that's completely wrong. That arrogant ego will be forced to face a challenge they never expected: your silence. Strategy 1. Don't react. Disappear with power. This is when you need to disappear, without any prior warning. Don't sit around waiting for her to text you back or looking for ways to make her regret no longer having your attention. You just need to live your life. Do what you love. Take care of yourself and let her realize that you're becoming more and more desirable. Why does silence have so much power? Because silence isn't just the absence of words. Silence is a powerful statement that you don't need anyone to feel important. Silence signals that you're not seeking validation from anyone, especially those who think they're the center of the universe. Strategy 2. Create curiosity. Make her wonder what you're doing. Women are attracted to men who are unpredictable. Those who have an independent life, don't depend on anyone, and don't let anyone control their lives. Live in a way that makes her curious about you. Never let your life become predictable. You hang out with your friends, and she doesn't know. You're learning a new skill, and she's unaware. You're busy with work, but she has no right to demand that you spend time on her. What's important is not to brag about what you're doing. Just do the things you enjoy and share them naturally. Not to show her you're busy or living better, but because you deserve to have an interesting and energetic life. Strategy 3. Create your own value and let her see you don't need her anymore. Once she realizes that you no longer depend on her affection, her ego starts to crack. She'll begin to ask herself, does he have someone else? Has he found his value in life without needing me? She will start to feel a slight pain, realizing she didn't properly value the man in front of her. One older friend of mine, who has gone through several heartbreaks, shared with me a very simple yet very true saying. Son, never let a woman control your emotions. If she loves you, she'll come back. If not, you should just live well and seek what truly deserves you. Remember, her arrogant ego only exists as long as you step back and allow it. When you assert your own self-worth, the ego of others naturally begins to diminish. Silence is not weakness, but the silent strength of a mature man. Create a life that she can't predict, so she can feel that you're the man who can't be manipulated. Don't try to get her to come back. Just live well. And if she's truly deserving, she'll come back on her own. To sum it up, 1. Silence isn't weakness, but the silent strength of a man who knows his worth. 2. Create a life she can't predict, so she'll feel you're someone who can't be controlled. 3. Don't try to make her come back. Just live well, and if she's truly deserving, she'll return. A question for you. Have you ever been in a similar situation? What did you do to regain your self-esteem and crush the arrogant ego of someone else? Share your story below this video, and let's all learn from real-life experiences.